see if I can do a cooking stream. Hopefully I have enough mental spoons to do this. Hoping, not always guaranteed. Gonna need the oven. Oven at 425 Fahrenheit. I don't know how they do the live, the bot for whenever you're live. I don't know how to do that, but I'm gonna try to do a cooking stream today. Sometimes we don't always have capacity or the mental space to do so. Probably wondering what are you doing with aluminum foil? How is that part of the cooking? Well, it's part of lining the pan so that the pan doesn't get too messy. Because sometimes you don't want to have to do a lot of dishes. And it's okay. It's okay to line things with aluminum foil sometimes. Especially if you don't want like a large amount of dishes. I just need to remember how I was shown, because there's a specific way that the roommate has this, like I said, fold once over, fold twice over. I'm gonna fail. I always mess this up. Then fold it backwards. I don't know how they do this every time. They end up making it to where this isn't gonna come apart. But I don't know if I can replicate that. Oh. Well, color me surprised, I guess. I'm just gonna remain surprised, because that was not what I expected to happen. Because normally it just doesn't go very well. And yes, I am going to use this on the pan, because sometimes you want to make sure you don't have a piece of stone. Sometimes. It's not always ideal. That is what happens. We're going to go ahead and we're going to spray down our pans because you do not want the dough to stick super bad to that. Yes, I'm using butter flavored cooking spray. If that is not how you use butter, I don't care. Speaking of which, I should probably use butter for one of these. Try and see how it turns out to use two different ones. We'll test that theory. It was just a theory, a food theory. Okay, I gotta sprinkle on some garlic here. Oh, the smell of garlic. Ooh, white pepper and garlic sounds good. A white pepper, sure. This may be the most inconvenient pizza, possibly. But I also want to do something else. Garlic, white pepper. What else would I do on the crust? Maybe Italian seasoning or basil. I think Italian seasoning. I'm just gonna do that. It's definitely gonna be different. And then we'll sprinkle some corn flour. I know this is not your traditional pizza here. Well, I mean, technically it is kind of traditional because you are making the pizza's crust from scratch. But, oh well. So, try not to get that on me. But that's not working out so well. Alright. So right now, we're going to try and get this pan taken care of. I'm going to grab butter. Sure, why not? Unsalted, salted. Alright. Gonna grab some butter. You know, maybe one day I'll just grab like 6 boxes of stick butter. Why that much butter? Chaos, that is why. It's like, are you wearing makeup today? No, I'm not wearing makeup today because I don't feel like wearing makeup today. Because I am tired and got a lot on my brain. All I wanna do is spend the rest of my life not having a mental crisis. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. All I wanna do is just be okay because today is not very good. Okay. Let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna take some butter, just a couple slats. I don't know, people call them slats. A little bit of butter. Don't drop that. Put that in there. Oof. Trimmers are not demure. I don't even know why people are using this demure phrase. Oh yeah, I need this. We're gonna try 2 different things today. I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna want the one that's using actual butter over the one that's not, but we're doing an experiment. Hopefully that experiment's not gonna be cholesterol. Cholesterol and other things. Alright. What do I do? Let's see. 30 seconds. Should be long enough. Okay. Just realized that strap is a lot shorter than the other one. That is very much bugging me at the moment. You try and do one thing. Anyways, so while that is going, I'm going to try to put up the rest of this butter. Yeah, I can hear you. Alright. Let's get this under control. Shorter than the microwave. Very much so. I'm a very short individual. Short on time, short on temper, short in height. You know, things in the microwave tend to be very hot. But that's okay. You lack a will to live, and sometimes things aren't as hot as people think they are. That's bad. Mental health jokes. Do you got them? No. That definitely there's one. The oven's at 425 Fahrenheit. It's just a general rule of thumb sometimes. And try to spread out the butter evenly on this. So now that that's got a nice butter coat on this, it is now 8:30 in the evening. Let's hope that this goes okay. Oh, I know what I should do. That might be a good idea. That's a wondrous idea in itself. Yeah, I think they do that. You know what a fun idea is? Potentially making stuffed crust pizza with string cheese. This may not be everyone's forte, but might be some people's. Some people might want to have a very lactose-induced pizza. And some people may not. Everyone's different. But we're not gonna pizza shame you. Not gonna pizza shame you at all. Let me see what I can do. The lighting is always really bad in here. Let me see what I can do. Right, we need to find out where our brain is for what. The amount of lack of focus I have is very upsetting. We're just going to take an old jar and try our best. Is it there or is it over there? Is it over here? No. So it's got to be in here. You'd assume it would be. However, assumptions end up being a thing that don't look great on you. I just need a blank jar. But I can't seem to find just a blank jar. I had one earlier. Oh, there it is. Got it. I was like, wait a minute. We're going to use this to mix and stir and store. Mix, stir, and store. MSS. Mix, stir, and store. It may not make any sense to anyone. You're going to need lukewarm to warm water. So you're going to need about 90 degrees of water. Fahrenheit. So when it's warm enough, but not too warm. about 1.5 cups, 2 cups of water. We're not measuring this right now, but that's okay. Gotta try to not take myself so seriously sometimes. At least that's what I'm supposed to do, because this is a kitchen, not a restaurant, right? Right. You're gonna need yeast. I am using instant bread yeast or bread machine yeast. It's instant yeast, so it doesn't take as long. Gonna need a good amount of yeast, about 2 teaspoons, give or take. Maybe 2.5. Don't eat raw yeast. I mean, people tell me that all the time, just don't want to eat it. But that's just a sensory thing on my part, because it's the texture of it. It's the texture. It's a texture thing for me. You don't eat raw yeast, because eating raw yeast is apparently bad for you. Who knew? But eating raw yeast is actually really bad, especially if you're prone to getting yeast infections or infections really easily, or if you are on antibiotics. Eating raw yeast can cause you to have a higher risk for UTIs and other fun little ER trips. So don't eat raw yeast. It's bad. We're gonna let this set for 5 minutes and let it become frothy. So we're just gonna let that set for a bit. And meanwhile, while that is going on, we're gonna make a pizza sauce. Some of you are probably gonna be like, why don't I just go to the store, get a can of pizza sauce, or get a jar of pizza sauce like Prego or whatever. You could do that. You could, technically. You could always do that. It's always an option. However, what we're gonna do is make pizza sauce from scratch. Well, it won't technically be fully from scratch because we're not like blending up tomatoes. We are using tomato sauce. But we are going to be making homemade pizza sauce. Some of you are probably going to be like, how do you make homemade pizza sauce? Well, I'll tell you how. You're going to need step one for a pizza sauce is you're going to need tomato sauce or tomato paste, your choice. You can also blend up tomatoes and just make a sauce out of raw tomatoes. But you're going to need tomato sauce. I'm going to mix it in here and store it in here. So having this here is perfectly fine. We're going to take tomato sauce. I'm going to angle this down a bit because I feel that, oop, that's a bit much, but hey. So, tomato sauce. You're going to want to add in salt. You're going to want black pepper. You're going to want onion powder, which we're going to go ahead and take the onion powder that we had ground down ourselves with a mortar and pestle from dried onions. Take the onion powder. Then we're going to go ahead and let garlic powder go. Wait, oh, it's right there. Garlic powder. Just a decent amount of garlic powder. But we're also going to try and take the thing that we had buttered down Go ahead, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and Italian seasoning. You know what we're gonna do? Instead of shaking this out, we're gonna take this off, but we're not gonna put too much in here. There we go. Alright. And we're gonna definitely stir that up and mix that up. I've thought about 2 tattoos, well actually 3 or no, 4 tattoos that I'd like to get in the future. Okay, so we're gonna mix the pizza sauce. And just keep mixing. Well, that is, don't forget to, no, we still got 3 minutes. 3 minutes on the, 3 minutes on the wait time for the, dough starter / yeast. So I got 2 minutes now, technically. Just need to stir that all up, and hopefully that's not too bad. I want to try to do this. Got a good pizza sauce going. I will be washing my hand, so don't judge me. Okay, good. First off, it was relatively hot, so I chose to wear a dress because it's the least amount of clothing that I feel like putting on. Huh? No one in chat. I thought there was. 1 minute to go. Technically, 1 minute to go. Hopefully, but we're gonna have to do a few things. I'm gonna need those. Nope. But there's that. I'm gonna need this, which is not what it's cracked up to be. Anyways, got that. We're gonna go ahead and add a bit of sugar, because most yeast consume sugar, but we're not adding too much sugar, just a little dash. Hopefully everyone's doing okay tonight. Got the sugar, then we're gonna add salt to the yeast water mixture. Just a bit of salt. And then you're also gonna need basil and garlic powder. Some of you may not really like garlic a lot, and that's fine, but garlic powder is gonna be one of the things you're gonna need. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Basil, if you're in different places, you might call it basil, but way I grew up, basil. Maybe I'm just weird, but we all pronounce things differently, and we all have different words for different things. So, basil. And now, flour. Flour. Gonna need a decent amount of flour. also going to need olive oil because you don't want this to stick to your hands. So what we're going to do is add in some flour to the mixture that you have. It does not look the best right now, but sometimes starting off things is not always going to look the best, and that is okay. Start off with that amount of flour and kind of see how this goes. May have to add more flour to it, but this dough is super simple and it's super easy. Most anyone can make it. And the best part, you can leave it raising for an hour, 2 hours, you can leave it raising for 30 minutes. You can just leave it raising overnight if you want to. It's all just kind of a preference thing at that point as to how long you want to spend on pizza, or if you want pizza immediately, or if you want pizza a different day. But your dough does not have to be done immediately. Much like your progress in life, it does not have to be done immediately. I'll go ahead and keep stirring this. I feel like I'm getting flour everywhere. Not the best. Okay. And now we're going to need the olive oil. Probably don't do what I did. But anyways, gonna want a decent amount of olive oil in the bowl and on the dough, because the next part you're gonna do is you're gonna let this dough kind of sit in the bowl and raise for about 30 minutes to an hour. So we're gonna have to find something to do for 30 minutes to an hour, which, you know, that's fun if you can figure out what you're gonna do. I'm not specifically sure what I'm going to do for 30 minutes to an hour, but we're going to set the dough to the side. And we're going to try and figure out what we're doing. It may not always be super fantastic to think about. Try to put that on there. Yeah? Really? You got a lot to say, huh, Salem? There we go. Now a decent amount of corn flour to make tamales. I don't want to make tamales again. That whole process took me a whole day of work. And I know usually tamales are a family project, but I'm not doing tamales, not today. All I want to do... Well, the oven has preheated. We're waiting on the dough to double in size. We're definitely going to try to make, like, you know, if we just not have flour all over different places. This is why we wear an apron. Oh, jeez. Thank you for the notification. Alright. Okay. Now, what we're going to do in the meantime, while we are waiting for the dough to double in size, which will be 30 minutes to an hour, we're going to go ahead, since we're going to do a cheese stuffed crust on one of them, we're going to take some string cheese. This is probably going to be the most violent act you've ever seen me perform on Twitch. It's so violent, because I'm not going to pull apart the string cheese, I'm just going to cut the cheese. Granted, it can't be any more horrific than what I showed one of my friends with string cheese. It's like, oh, you guys are supposed to pull the string cheese apart? How about you just, you know, eat a chunk out of it? It's like, oh, what? We're supposed to peel this? Like, how do you're supposed to just peel this like this? Well, it's not exactly working out. Because we're gonna commit atrocities. To some people, it's an atrocity. To other people, this is just your daily dose of chaos. And that's okay. Do you feel bonita? No. No, I do not. I may wear a dress. It does not mean that I identify with the dress. 2, 3. This is gonna be a bit chaotic. Well, it's gonna be about 20 more minutes for the dough to rise. So it's gonna be a little bit, and in that time I should be able to do an estimate of how long. Okay, so I need about 10 of these to do a cheese stuffed crust. 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 more, cut them in half, and that's 10 since we have 6. It's basic math. It's actually simple math and fractions. If you need 10 string cheese to make a decent, what are you messing with? To make a decent stuffed crust for pizza, but you have only cut up 3 string cheese in half, you have 6 string cheese now. So that means you need 2 more whole string cheeses cut in half to make the 4 string cheeses you need. Wait, what? Gasps so violent, grabs an officer's attention and points to the string. This Jimmer right here, officer, they're using string cheese with a knife. A knife? That's a federal crime you're looking at. You'll be serving at least 20 years in IBK. No, some people, they like to peel the string cheese, and I'm just like, that's great in theory. However, I'll be showing you what I do. This is going to be horrific, and it's going to probably trigger warn some people. Content warning. You're about to see horrors and atrocities of the unspeakable measures. Chaos to an extreme degree, if you will, involving cheese. So this is string cheese. Now with string cheese, you're supposed to peel cheese, right? For its string cheese. Also, my hair's not cut off. It is in a braid. String cheese, you normally peel it, right? You normally just go over here and you're just like, la 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 la, string cheese, it's string. However, warning, war crimes ahead. However, I'm a bit of a chaotic feral gremlin. And I thought that was how you eat string cheese. I just kind of eat it like that. Peeling it takes too much time and too much effort. This is fine. I thought this was normal for a lot of people. Just take string cheese, stick, and just eat it like that. I didn't know there has to be a process to it. It's cheese. We got, yep, still 20 minutes. 20 minutes till we check on the dough. Then we can start making the pizzas. We've got homemade pizza sauce, which tomato sauce, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning. Such war crimes. Oh yeah, total war crimes. We're gonna be making one of the pizzas a cheese stuffed crust. I got a bit tan over the over the weekend from the events. Yeah. I realized I hadn't done a cooking stream yet, so I figured I'd do a cooking stream, and I haven't shown how to make pizza for people yet, so I'm making homemade pizza, and I might as well just share the process so you can make it at home, because it's not a terrible process. It's a lengthy process if you're waiting on the dough to rise, but simple dough, lukewarm water, or water that's about 85 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Add in 2.5, maybe 2 teaspoons of instant yeast. Let that kind of froth up for 5 minutes. Add in about a teaspoon of sugar, about a teaspoon of salt, then, or half a teaspoon of salt, depends. You can do a low sodium, do 1/4 teaspoon of salt, depends on how salty or how sweet you want your dough. Then add in garlic, basil, flour, mix till it is a solid good dough, and then let it raise for 30 minutes to an hour. You could essentially let it raise overnight. There is no time limit on that as long as you get it made within the next couple days. Yeah, I'm making thin crust pizzas. Granted, I'm going to try to make a stuffed crust pizza on one of them. However, there are things you can take if you can't have lactose. If you're not deathly allergic to lactose, you can take Lactaid pills, or like Beano or something, and you can take that beforehand, and it'll generally dull down or prevent the reaction from happening with the lactose in your stomach. I'm starting this pizza a little bit earlier than I normally do, because normally I will wait until about 10 or 11 at night. Sometimes 9 or 10 at night, and it ends up being like midnight or 1 a.m. before the pizza is actually done. So the fact that I have started this around like 8 p.m. and now it's like 9 basically, I'm getting a head start on it this time. There are some people that say it's bad to eat after midnight, and to them I say, a pox on thee. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. But I'm gonna keep trying to stream, keep trying to do streams, having a great time mentally, super great. Yeah. Basically had a yearly review. Well, technically I get one every 6 months, because health insurance, and whenever you're on health insurance for your mental health stuff, that's always super fun, right? Because your insurance has to approve your mental health care. And sometimes it gets to a point that your mental health care provider says you should probably consider a Grippy Sock vacation. And then you have like 3 or 4 other doctors that also suggest you should consider a Grippy Sock vacation. That is where I'm at. I've had several healthcare providers suggest that I should take a Grippy Sock vacation for anywhere from a week to a month, or as long as it takes for me to get better. And I'm just over here going, I can't afford to do that. But part of it is because when you have an imbalance in hormones, especially if you've had a hysterectomy or if you've gone through major surgeries that have removed hormone producing organs, it sets your mental health into kind of a downfall. And sometimes it can put you in a very not okay state. A lot of people that know me know I'm very big on mental health matters. Everyone's mental health matters, including myself, as much as I'm opposed to this sometimes. Mental health is super important. I try to be open and honest about mine and about things that I go through, because I do not want people to feel like they're alone. And I don't want people to feel like they're having to go through the issues they're going through alone. For a lot of people, you get solutions, medicines, therapies, things that help you get better. And for some people, all of that works. And all of that works great. And they get better. And they do better mentally, and they grow, and they thrive. Then there's some circumstances, like in my case, where I have dealt with for 18 years of my life, over half of my life, not wanting to be here and actively trying not to be here. It's not easy, and I've done pretty good considering I have not been in a mental hospital for 4 years, 2 months and 23 days. I have avoided hospitals because most hospitals don't have a solution for me. A lot of them have basically said, hey, we're sorry you're going through this. We're sorry you're dealing with this in your head, but we don't know how to help. And we're not trained to deal with this. And there's not really anything we can offer you. So it's rough. What kind of vacation? Never heard of it. It's a joke. Grippy Sock vacation. It's basically how I code the word of going to a mental facility and being admitted for inpatient stay. seeking professional help to try and keep existing. That is the point that my mental health is at. On top of being super tired all the time and feeling exhausted, I have also been just trying to smile through everything, act okay. I've been trying really hard to just exist, play Minecraft, laugh, and act like everything's okay. But the truth of the matter is that mentally for me, everything is not okay. But I am hanging in there. No pun intended. Sorry, I have a bit of gallows humor at times. But mentally, everything is not okay with me. And I'll be honest about that. I would love for everything to be okay. That would be great. That'd be fantastic. But sometimes there's a lot of things people don't talk about. And there's a lot of things that people go through that they don't want to talk about because they don't want to be a burden, or they don't want to cause problems. And the thing is, I'm not the only one that goes through this out there. There are a lot of other people that deal with like thoughts or impulsions or things that are not super fun to deal with mentally, and there's a lot of things that people go undiagnosed with. There's a lot of things people don't go to therapy for or don't try to seek help for. Don't do what I'm doing and avoid going to a mental hospital. If you can seek help, reach out, talk to someone. If you have to, call a warm line, call a crisis line, I know there's a whole running joke about, welcome to the mental health hotline, if you're depressed, press 1. I know there's that whole joke, but mental health is actually pretty serious. And some of us, we laugh our way through it and think we're fine, nobody wants to deal with this anyways. But if you need to, call a warm line, call a crisis line, talk to a friend. It's better than not talking to anyone at all. Reaching out at least lets people know that you still want to try to have a reason to stay. And there's a lot of people out there, especially in other countries, that can't seek mental help or are not allowed to, or it's taboo, or there's cultures where it's taboo if you're male and you try to seek help for mental health. There's a lot of things and a lot of factors that can prevent someone from trying to seek help. And part of mine is that a lot of the time growing up, for me, it was always looked at as, you're overreacting, you're overdramatic, you're just too emotional, etc., etc. I'm not too emotional, I'm not overdramatic. I feel what I feel. And because I was never shown how to properly regulate my emotions, I feel very intense emotions and very strong emotions. It's kind of part of the territory of bordering borderline personality and bipolar. It's kind of on that line. But here's the thing, bipolar and borderline both get misdiagnosed for each other because they have very similar symptoms. And borderline personality disorder is a trauma-based thing, whereas bipolar disorder is more so a roller coaster of manic and depressive. It's not, I'm happy one moment, then I'm pissed off the next. Bipolar is stereotypically portrayed as someone's happy, ha ha ha, laugh, 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 and then pissed off immediately in 1 second. That's not bipolar. Sure, that's an erratic mood swing, but bipolar is more so you have mania and you're super like, oh yeah, I feel the best in the world, everything's great, and then something can happen and all of a sudden you're a downward spiral into the depression pit for 1 or 2 days, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, depending. But it's basically spikes in mania and spikes in depression. And for me, I'm not bipolar because I don't have the spikes in mania and the spikes in depression. For me, I have what's called major depressive disorder, MDD. And it's kind of like bipolar, but there's no mania. It's all just masking your depression as best as you can and putting on a happy face, but always being down on yourself, always being super not okay, always being depressed, and always feeling hopeless or like you're a burden. No matter how much you smile, no matter how much you try to act okay. It's a very real thing that happens. And it's a very real thing that happens to a lot of people. That would not be anywhere beneficial for you. It does suck that this point of where your mental health is, but there has to be something better than a mental hospital. So normally there would be, having a caseworker or care coordinator with a mental health outpatient, which if you're going to therapy, that's technically considered outpatient, and it's where you're not admitted to a hospital, but you are seeking services for mental health. And caseworkers and care coordinators that are at a mental health facility are there to check in weekly with you and make sure you're okay every week, keep a track of how you're doing each week, to report it back to the main office and your therapist and let them know how your mental health is on a personal level. But with my mental health care, I was never provided a caseworker or a care coordinator. You are supposed to be if your mental health needs are at a point that you are requiring and it's a necessity for you. Technically, it has been a necessity for me for a good bit of time. I will just state a good bit of time. But because of health insurance, there's a whole process with it, and that process involves a lot of waiting. Because American healthcare, it's so great, right? Everyone loves American healthcare systems. That was sarcasm, by the way. One of the services that is a healthcare here in the U.S. is Medicaid. There's Medicaid, Medicare, there's different forms of healthcare, but specifically with Medicaid, some mental health services only accept Medicaid. Some mental health services accept Medicare. Some do not accept Medicare. But with Medicaid, there's a process that you have to go through to get approved for care coordinator, caseworker, someone that can actually be there for you each week. When your needs are higher, you have to go through an approval process. And that approval process involves you waiting for Medicaid to call you and Medicaid to say, hey, how's your mental health, and what can we do, and what would you benefit from, etc., etc. Insert long 30-minute to 2-hour process, and you don't know when they'll call, when they'll set that up. It's basically just a waiting game. So while you're dealing with a lot mentally, you have two options. You can either wait and get the care you need, or you can seek an immediate care and go to an ER, urgent care, or reach out to a mental health facility and admit yourself as inpatient. You can do that, or there's a third option of reaching out to friends and talking to friends, or talking to someone you trust and talking to someone that you know on a personal level. Any of those three options is a valid option. If you don't like hospitals, that's also valid, as long as you are finding something that works for you. I think the dough is done rising. Well, almost. It's not completely done. Get a few more minutes. But this is a good dough. Good dough. Good dough. Sorry, gonna be a bit goofy. That is how I detract from my issues, is I try to be goofy. I try to laugh and make jokes. And that's just defense mechanism on my part, I guess. But yeah. Sometimes our mental health is not great. And we're not doing okay. And sure, I am still keeping reasons to keep going. I've got a few, but a few is better than none. Also, I tried to pick up the D&D stamps the other day, and I was very, very much hugely frustrated and disappointed because they just released on August 2nd, the Dungeons and Dragons stamps did, and turns out that right after they released, all the stamp collectors decided to go to the post office in town, and all of those limited quantity Dungeons and Dragons stamps had all been bought out here locally. So if I want those stamps, I'm going to probably have to order them online. But the post office here in town did not have any of those. They did not have any of the wildlife conservation sea animals. They did not have any of the horses. They did not have any of the freedom stamps. All they had left was a very limited quantity of what they have, and most of those were either, well, I've got a few of the sheets that are the autumn leaves, which are the different tree colors and fall coloration, which is really pretty. And they're photographic stamps. And then I've got the healing PTSD stamps, which the healing PTSD stamps are $17 for a sheet of stamps, but the funds go towards PTSD research and trying to help veterans get through PTSD and stuff and figure out solutions for mental health. And so those are ones I definitely get every year because I find it to be a cause I support. Those frickin' buttheads. Yeah, sometimes it happens. They probably did the same thing with a lot of the other ones. I asked about the Constellation ones and the James Webb telescope stamps, but it turns out they also sold out of those too. So I'm just over here going, what do you have? Turns out they definitely still have a lot of their $17 sheet stamps, and I'm just like, ouch. Because the ones they have left are things like the tiger sanctuaries, which, if you're not aware, there are only, I believe, 600 tigers left in the wild. I believe it's 600. I would have to recheck that number real quick. one moment while this is still a thing. Let me see. Believe it is, hold on. So there's only 1,000 mountain gorillas left, 6,000 cheetahs left in the wild, 3,000 tigers left, Bengal tigers, and 1,200 Galapagos Island penguins, and only 2 northern white rhinos left in the wild. Those are how many are left of those species. So penguins, as much as there are a lot of penguins, specifically it's the Galapagos Island penguins, because there are some tropical penguins. The Galapagos Island penguins, there's only 1,200 of those left. For Bengal tigers, or tigers that are specific to India, there are, there are 3,000 tigers left in the wild. Some people have been like, oh, that's a lot of tigers. But when you look at it at a whole continent type view, it's actually not a lot of tigers left. And then, what was it? 6,000? 600 gorillas left and 6,000 cheetahs. So honestly, there's a lot of animals that will no longer be around because people don't give a shit about the planet. Yeah. And two northern white rhinos. So 2 rhinos, like 2 white rhinos specifically. Out of all the population of like endangered species of rhinos, there are 2 white rhinos left, and those if they are gone, they will forever be gone. That's kind of a reality of endangered species. It sucks. People don't want to do their part, and they're like, oh, conservation doesn't matter, recycling doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't? Because did you see these animals? It kind of matters. Because if you leave it up to me, it kind of matters. All those numbers because of poachers and no one actually giving a shit about them. Yep. And sure, people need to care more about things, but I am one person and I cannot make a whole planet of people I cannot make a whole planet of people care about the environment or animals or nature or recycling or any of that stuff, because I'm not an influencer. I'm just a person. And I'm barely that right now. I am 3 possums collectively chasing after a shiny object, next to a couple crows. I'm a couple possums and a couple crows stuck in a human body, because shiny objects make my brain go. God dang, freaking thing. What was that? Recycling and conservation don't matter? Brittany? Say that again. When the oxygen levels are dangerously low and carbon is high as fuck. Also, say that again whenever your favorite animal suddenly disappears. Not only that, but like, you don't care about the planet, you don't care about the trees. Like, trees are important. They give you oxygen. I think we got enough dough. We're gonna try to see. Don't ask who Brittany is. That was a random name. Fair enough. Let's see what we can do. Don't want to do oil on my hands. That's okay. My mannequin for hats for events, I named him Jeff. His name is Jeff. He wears a Rasta hat sometimes. Well, he used to wear a Rasta hat whenever my younger brother gave him to me, and then my younger brother took the Rasta hat back. Don't ask why he had a Rasta hat. That's my brother's thing. Rasta stuff and other things. Oh, that is sticky. Hi. What you want?
To stop existing.
No, that's my job. I am streaming, but you're welcome to come hang out and talk. BK's in stream.
BK. Hi, BK.
Do you have pants on?
No.
You gonna just talk from the doorway?
Yeah. Acrylic leaf.
Yeah. Boxers count as pants.
Not boxers, though.
I'm on Twitch.
Okay.
Keep it safe for work. I saw the post about your work being a dickhead.
Yeah.
BK says hi.
Hi, BK.
Your work needs a swift kick to the butt.
Yeah, they're pulling the bullshit of, well, if the team wants raises, then the whole team needs to perform and prove we deserve it.
Yeah, well, that doesn't really help when your whole team isn't doing their part, and they're tossing the workload off onto you.
Or the other teams that are supposed to be doing stuff aren't doing their part, and we have to pick up the slack, which makes us take way longer to do our shit.
Yep. So I'm doing an experiment with this dough.
Oh yeah?
One of these pans, I did the butter spray and then the seasoning on it, and a little bit of white pepper and the cornmeal.
White pepper?
Don't ask, it was an idea I had spur of the moment. Then the other one, I melted down some butter to coat the pan, so actual butter. Then I seasoned it with garlic powder and the cornmeal, because you requested the cornmeal.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to try to stuff the crust on the round pan with cheese.
Oh,
What?
that sounds like effort.
Okay, but you like stuffed crust and you like cheese.
Yeah.
I'm at least not doing this and it being pizza at midnight again.
Fair.
You got your Destiny stuff at like 11.
Yeah, whenever Brandon gets home.
Are you gonna stream or
Yeah, thinking about it. Get this new stuff.
new stuff?
New stuff.
Fair. He keeps trying to knock down the stuff off the window. He wants the window clings and I keep telling him no. Why are you squishing stuff?
It's squishy.
Yeah, because it's a window cling.
See bugs outside? Yeah, lots of bugs.
I don't know. Streaming on Twitch, I always feel like I have to censor myself and censor whatever I am talking about.
Look at that bug.
Are you teasing him because he can't get to the bugs outdoors?
Look at the mantis.
What?
There's a mantis. He wants it.
Oh, there's a praying mantis on the window. Is it outside?
Yes.
Slightly less concerned, but still concerned.
There's also a grasshopper, several aphids, some kind of beetle. Spider up in the corner out here somewhere. Yeah?
You know, it'd be great if we didn't have all those bugs on the door window, because I don't like that. I already dealt with one thing I was scared of today. I don't want to deal with any more things.
They're just little buggies.
Alex. DK says Alex.
What?
I don't know. I already rescued one spider today, and I have a fear of spiders. I also thought about getting a spider tattoo eventually. I've had enough spiders show up in my life that I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to have to embrace this and be like, alright, Loki, Arania, fuck
Learn
you.
to be friends with spiders.
No!
Spiders are friends.
No! They're creepy! They got the little
Spiders
eight
are
legs.
friends.
No!
Yeah, they all.
No! I don't like spiders! No! I don't like spiders. The only spider I would ever get a tattoo on would probably be like a little peacock spider or a jumping spider. And that would be about the extent of that. Maybe an orb weaver. But I just do not like spiders.
Orb weavers have creepy legs, though.
Orb weavers look cool, but I don't want to touch them or be near them. There's some that are okay from a distance, a very, very long, far away distance. Like the Australian spiders that scare the shit out of me and run after you.
The huntsman.
Yeah. Stop scaring Pyro. Jumping spiders are precious. Yes, they are. I would rescue a jumping spider and...
BK have anything to say about my work being dumb?
I don't know. I'm trying to poke holes in this. Because you gotta poke holes in the dough so it doesn't just floof up too much. I think your work needs to stop passing you over and needs to promote you because you're already doing management's job and you're already doing like hiring managers' jobs about training people. So they need to just promote you instead of just underpaying you and not promoting you. You've gone and done the interviews like 6 times for promotion, and you're more than qualified to do that, and they're just like, oh yeah, well, that's great and all, and we appreciate your time. However...
Well, they also need to stop trying to get blood from a stone, because they keep wanting us to do more and do it faster, and the whole team is telling them, hey, we can't.
Have you guys thought about striking?
Hard to do that without being unionized.
Form a union.
Gee, I would love to.
Blame Canada? No, we gotta blame America. America's the problem. If I stabbed this enough times, do you think it'd be the same as stabbing a politician?
No.
Is there a reason we can't stab politicians?
It's illegal.
That's dumb. What about
It's illegal to
setting stuff on fire?
It's illegal to stab anyone.
Only if you get caught.
Also illegal to set stuff on fire.
Only if you get caught.
That's true about anything. What bug are y'all after?
BK said that Pyro just answered the questions I wanted to ask Alex. Why the fuck have they not made Alex a fucking regional manager or something? Because they're dumb and they don't give a shit.
Well, you see, I've been passed over like 6 or 7 times for any kind of promotion.
they just want to keep her down, and she needs to look for like other jobs. But that's good luck with that.
I've tried, and there aren't any other good jobs.
Yes, the job market's not great, and the pay's not great. Plus, the housing crisis is not great.
The only other jobs I would even want to do that would pay what I need require like 4 or 5 years of experience in the field for an entry level position.
And she does not have that. She only has 2.
No, technically for the fields that I would want to do, I technically have a 0 because it would be the field that I got my degree in that I've never been able to get a job for because they all want experience, even for, entry level, fresh out of college.
Computer science.
Yeah.
Ken will help me.
It's as good as it can get.
I sad face now. Hands pyro flamethrower. Go. Set the world on fire. Make the world your glass sculpture. No, I am not allowed to do that, especially in my current mental state. I'm not allowed to do that. I've already explained to BK the situation with my mental.
I mean, Dave pushed me to the point where I'm pretty much done trying at work. I will show up, do what I can for my job, but not stress out about anything or like push myself to get more done or whatever.
I will not break myself for this company because they are not paying me enough.
Pretty much.
Do not tell me to go set the world on fire because I'm half tempted.
I don't want to set the world on fire.
Yeah, you're just gonna leave?
I just want to start a flame in your heart.
About that. No comment. I don't think you have to try to start anything at this point. Are you cleaning up all the dog hair?
Yeah, you still have to take the trash out.
No, I didn't get around to... I got the dishes tackled, I just forgot to get the trash. I'm going to do that when the pizzas are in the oven, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I need to try to get this over here enough to where I can just, like, collapse the crust on itself. But I know you were looking forward to pizza. So I'm trying to... Ah yes, Alex has gone gremlin mode.
Why have I gone gremlin mode?
I think she's always gremlin mode though.
Yeah, I mean, kinda.
Gremlin feral. I need to knock some of this flour out of here. If only put paper towels under the sink. You want something to do when you're bored?
Nah.
No?
No.
You can tackle the trash. Just kidding. Okay. I'm not gonna get...
Really?
I am trying, okay? You did it last time, and I'm just trying to figure out how the fuck I did it last time. Because I'm trying to knock the excess flour off this dough without the dough folding over. No one's a gremlin. We're all people of some gender, sort, or another. At least that's what we're told. Also, there's another tattoo besides the spider that I thought about. Well, technically, 2 others. Ah, it's falling. There's 2 others I've thought about getting. Besides the little jumping spider, I've thought about getting like an alphabet board or a line of alphabet letters that go through the whole alphabet on some part of me. I'm not sure where yet. Probably like my arm or something. That way, if I go nonverbal, I can just point to the letters on my arm.
That is probably as good as it's gonna get.
I'm sorry. Okay, now I can put these cheese sticks into the crust. You want a cheese crust?
Do what?
It's like, you want a cheese crust? I can attempt to make a cheese crust. I just don't think I'm going to be very good at this. They really want the insects out there.
What you after?
Okay, but you don't want to give them the insects that are outside.
No.
Why?
Because that's meat to the bugs.
Okay, but they want to eat the bugs.
Okay, they have food.
Let them eat the bugs.
No,
Why?
it's meat to the bugs.
They deserve it.
The bugs are just trying to live.
The same can be said about me, but life apparently thinks I deserve a lot of the things that I'm getting.
Yeah, how would you feel if somebody just came around, picked you up, pulled you out of the house, and fed you to their pet?
What kind of pet?
The equivalent of a cat?
Big kitty. Worth it.
Yeah, as it bats you around and breaks your arm and breaks your leg and leaves you twitching there in pain until it finally decides to end you.
At least I'd be feeling something. What?
They're frustrating.
Yeah? You just now realizing this?
No!
I never said I wasn't not problematic.
Ah!
Twitch. I am doing things, okay? I'm not going to act on them. I'm not going to do that. It is a hypothetical situation. This is a say-so stream. Yeah, because I say so. I'm not good at this cheese stuffed crust thing. I thought I would be. I think I have problems. Well, aside from the normal set of problems.
Yeah, you're also using, like, hard sticks instead of shredded.
There are places that use the sticks. I am aware of this. So I am trying to replicate.
Do they use the string cheese?
I think so. Don't judge me. Trust the process. I know the process seems very chaotic and seems kind of iffy, but trust the process. It'll be okay. I say that and then I have a lot of self-doubt. I have to cook these crusts for 3 minutes before I actually put sauce and stuff on them. Whatever happens, it's still edible, right? Alex?
What?
I said whatever happens, it's still edible, right?
Technically.
Have fun with your destiny.
Burr.
What? Burr?
Black.
Why? But why? I squawk at you. A pterodactyl screech at you. Okay, concern. Don't be too concerned, BK. This is fine. Everything's fine. Just have Alex hop and stream or chat, talk to you. Everything's fine. There is no fire in Ba Sing Se. The Fire Nation would never attack Ba Sing Se. We are safe here. Alright. 1. Oh, jeez. 2. A nice thin crust. Alright, I need 3 minutes. How would you feel if someone bat you around and ate you? What kind of hypothetical scenario are we talking about here? Why are you guys so set on trying to eat the bugs that are outside the window? The bugs are not Food Network. Please refrain from trying to go after the bugs. I swear. These kiddos. Don't make me feel old. I didn't already feel old. Feel older than I feel now? Sure. That's a thing. Clean as you go. Do, 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 do. Sometimes you just need to clean up as you go. Clean up, clean up. Don't leave a mess. Don't leave a mess. Clean up, clean up. Don't try to dirty all the things you see in front of you. Clean up, clean up. Don't make a mess. Clean as you go. It'll let you rest after you're done. Clean up, clean up. Clean up as you go. The more that you know about cleaning and cooking and things you never thought of. Clean up, clean up, clean up as you go. Something you don't know is you clean as you go. Sorry, sometimes I just do that. 45 seconds. It's showtime. Also, I just dropped tack. That's what I dropped. There's some really cute pot holders at Dollar Tree. They got some of the Halloween stuff out now. So does Family Dollar and Dollar General. Both of them. All of those have Halloween stuff out. And it is amazing. 2, 1. There we go. And we will try to grab that. I want to give it a good 3-minute head start. Let it cook a little bit. Probably want to be careful. Alright. It's okay. Everything's okay. Sort of. Just get that nice smell coming off that dough. So now, while this is still kind of a thing, alright. some olive oil. Glad to see some places aren't doing Christmas thing now. Technically, from what I've heard, Hobby Lobby already has their Christmas selection out and about. And I'm pretty sure that some places are already defrosting the Mariah Carey, so we're not free from this yet. Pretty sure some places are already defrosting Mariah Carey at this point. Sir, what are they doing? They're defrosting her. But sir, it's only August. August is almost over. Oh dear God, you're right. August is almost over. That can't be right. It's too early. Not for the Christmas schnazzies. Not for the Christmas schnazzies. They're everywhere, and they seek Mariah Carey. Do you think if they seek Mariah Carey, they're also seeking Carrie Underwood? God, that was terrible. Anyways, trying to get this. Yo. Trying to get the olive oil down a bit, because I'm trying to make sure this actually gets the dough decent. But yeah, there are places that are already pulling out Christmas stuff. Halloween hasn't even fully come around. We haven't had spooky season. And you're already pulling out the Mariah Carey. Ridiculous. Just plain ridiculous. That's what it is. You think there aren't places in the South already pulling out Christmas stuff? Then you're wrong. We live in a Bible Belt. They already want Christmas to be a thing. In fact, in July, there were a few Christmas markets, art event-wise, that were going on and looking for vendors in July. For August events, for Christmas shopping. And I'm over here going, surely my calendar's not wrong. It's only summer, right? Summer still, right? Why are people already prepping for Christmas markets? It's summer. Make it stop. You're pushing the year go by too fast. You're making the year go too fast. Stop it, you're scaring me. Hide your children, they're trying to push Christmas. We don't celebrate Christmas in this house, we celebrate Yule. Oh, man. Like, Halloween is coming up in a couple months. Technically, as soon as next month is this weekend. So, technically, yeah, it'd be about a month. Or 2 months, technically. But, originally, do you know why people dressed up for Halloween originally? And do you know why jack-o'-lanterns are a thing for Halloween? And why it's a tradition? You want to know some fun facts about that? No. You don't want to know, or you do want to know. Never was told about it. So, the reason why people dress up for Halloween. So, Halloween was originally Celtic holidays known as Samhain, Samhain, or Samhain, Samhain, Sabon, and there's another one that was All Hallows Eve, or All Hallows Day. So, All Hallows Eve and All Hallows Day were both, All Hallows Eve was the day before All Saints Day. That was a Protestant or church belief of October 31st being a holy day. So, originally for the pagan side of it, whenever Sabon and Samhain were holidays that people celebrated worldwide, before Halloween was a thing, Sabon and Samhain, or Samhain. Samhain and Sabon were holidays that celebrated the dead. It also celebrated loved ones and remembering loved ones whenever the veil between the living and unliving was the thinnest. And so during that time, it was said that spirits and demons would cross over to our realm, and there'd be an increase in spiritual activity and supernatural things happening, and lots of spooky stuff. And to prevent an overabundance of spooky stuff happening, or to protect kids from being basically taken away by demons in the night or abducted by the devil, quote unquote, they would dress up the kids and dress up people around All Hallows Day to look like monsters or ghosts or scary, terrifying things or supernatural things, so that the ghosts and demons wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the living and not living, thus confusing demons and other supernatural entities from stealing their children. So that was part of why people would dress up for All Hallows Day and All Hallows Eve and All Saints Day when it came to the Celtic tradition and celebration of Samhain and Samhain. The Protestant or church belief of All Hallows Day, All Hallows Eve, or Halloween was brought around to protect your children, dress them up so that they don't get abducted by demons and spiritual entities, and that they don't try to be abducted by the devil, kind of thing. Which, that's not what happens. But in the pagan tradition of Samhain and Samhain, or spelled Samhain, but Samhain, Celtic spelling, the veil between the living and unliving is the thinnest. Supernatural activity occurs a lot, more frequent, especially from 1 to 3 a.m. The belief was that if you dressed up, you would basically make the supernatural not as malevolent as they were during that time, and it would make them feel more comfortable with the living and not be as ill will towards the living. So there was a tradition of dressing up to just kind of make the undead more comfortable with the living. Now, Christians took that and basically used it as, oh, you need to protect yourself from the devil and his entities, etc., etc. But it was mostly just during Samhain and Sabon, it was tradition to just kind of leave saucers of milk out in the night for the, I don't remember how you pronounce it, but there's a certain cat type fae, a fairy type cat, a fairy cat, that basically is this black cat with a white patch on its chest and the rest of it's black, and it stands on its hind legs. You leave a saucer of milk out so that it doesn't like do any ill will towards you or your family, and that would be done every Halloween and stuff in the Celtic tradition, because they tried to appease the fae and not cause any harm towards the fae. And cats were known to basically turn into witches, and it was said that if the cat fae is 9 lives, each time that a witch or a cat turned into a human witch, that was the fae taking a human form. They only had 9 chances to do that, and on the 9th life, if it returned to cat form, it would not be able to become human ever again. But that is kind of just a Celtic mythology thing around like the fae and cat folk and just a whole bunch of that. But aside from that, Samhain and Samhain were used to celebrate and honor the dead and honor basically a good harvest and having a good fall harvest and celebrating life, celebrating the solstice, celebrating different things happening. That was the pagan tradition. Having a big feast, sharing time with friends. this the equivalent to what we would consider our Thanksgiving, but like it's different for every celebration. And the tradition behind jack-o'-lanterns. So there are two different things. Well, there's a lot of different things, but there are two different things specifically. So there's the reasoning as to why religious people put out jack-o'-lanterns, and there's reasoning as to why the pagan folk would put out jack-o'-lanterns. So the religious folk would put out jack-o'-lanterns as a symbol of we are appeasing and scaring away the demons and devil so that they do not abduct our firstborn daughter and they do not try to take our daughters and turn them against God. That was the whole church view on keeping a jack-o'-lantern out on your porch every night of Halloween or All Hallows Eve so that the devil didn't come and take your daughter. And if you did not have a jack-o'-lantern on your porch or at your house, symbolizing that you were participating in protecting your daughter from the devil, your daughter was taken from your home and sacrificed to God and basically burned at the stake because it was appeasing God and preventing the devil from coming into your home. As crazy as that does sound, that was a tradition for a lot of the church-going folk when it came to jack-o'-lanterns. But it's very, very not okay. However, jack-o'-lanterns in the pagan sense were originally created to guide spirits, shed light, and basically be a form of protection from evil entities approaching your doorstep or coming into your place. The candle put inside of the jack-o'-lantern was symbolic of a light in the dark and basically allowing for there to be a protective spirit around your house. And that was the purpose of jack-o'-lanterns in paganistic sense. Why the fuck is religion so weird and dangerous? Well, it's not entirely dangerous, but there are some people that take religion to a very extreme view and do harm with it, which goes against all of the religious teachings of biblical standard because the Bible specifically says, do not blaspheme. And blaspheme does not just mean, oh my God, you said, oh my God, you took the Lord's name in vain. No, blaspheming and taking the Lord's name in vain means that you are using God's word or using God's teaching for wrongdoing, for your own benefit, and not for the benefit of God's good. That is what blaspheming and taking the Lord's name in vain is when you use the Bible, use its verses, use God's word to create harm to other people, create harm to nations, create harm to the world. That's what blasphemy is. Which a lot of religions nowadays kind of do that on the daily. Some take it out of context and go, oh no, if you basically swear and use God's name to swear, then that's blasphemy. That's not blasphemy. Blaspheming and taking things in vain literally means to use someone else's good for evil doing, evil work, evil purposes, or for your own benefit. Some people just don't really look into the actual translations of stuff and actually read their Bible. Whereas I happen to used to be a church camp counselor, so yay, trauma. But I learned to grow and I learned to learn about multiple different religions and learn that, hey, I'm not right, but I'm not wrong, and they're not right, but they're not wrong. Everyone has their own beliefs, and guess what? That is okay. No one belief is better than the other, but as long as you are not causing harm with your belief, I am okay with you. If you are using your belief or your religion for like ill will, harm, and malevolence and causing harm to a group of people or minority or a group or nation, then I'm gonna be a little bit not okay with you. You can be a decent human, and you can be a decent person. That's fine. But don't use your religion to basically force someone to do things. Don't use your religion to scare people into things. Don't use your religion to scare people into following your religion or the person you believe in. And don't use your religion to basically tell people they're going to hell. Because you cannot judge someone else's belief or where their belief is. That is not your purpose in life. Your purpose is to exist, show love, be kind, and be Christ-like in behavior, if that is what you believe. And if you don't believe in that, well, I mean, be a good person, be decent, and just kind of... I know we are at the same age, but where were you during my Sunday school years? You would have opened my eyes way sooner than recently. So, I was a church camp counselor when I was 15. I was a church camp counselor of a girls' cabin at 15. And I was also a church camp counselor at age 16 and 17. But I didn't start being accepting of other religions and other belief systems until I was about, I want to say 23. 23, yeah. So about 8 years. Before then, I was very strictly, if you don't believe what I believe, you're going to heck, and homosexuality is wrong, blah, 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 blah. It's wrong to not be the gender you're born, etc., etc. I was the person as a teenager that would go around with a Bible at school and basically tell people, do you love God? You need to love God and love Jesus, or else you're going to burn forever, and it's going to hurt, and it's going to be bad, and you're going to live a terrible life, and God's going to be disappointed. I was that kind of person. And I realized, like, a bit later in my 20s, hey, you have friends that are pagan. Are you really going to tell your friends that they're going to burn forever? Do you think you'd still want to be friends with you if you told people that you were going to burn forever? Do you think you'd want to be that person's friend? No. Do you think it's helpful to tell someone they're going to burn forever? No. It is not. Well, they need to repent, and they need to change their ways and accept God. First off, you can't make people accept anything. Second off, you can't force people out of fear to believe what you believe. That's wrong. You also can't force people to do things they don't want to do. That's not consensual, and that is wrong as well. All you can really do is just tell people what you believe and explain how you believe things if they're willing to listen. If they don't want to listen and they don't want to hear about it, don't bother trying to talk to a brick wall. Just move on. Let them live their life. Not your circus, not your cookies. There were a lot of times as a kid that I was the person that would go up to people and be like, do you know Jesus? Jesus? Yeah, I thought I saw him the other day in school. No, Jesus Christ, he's your Lord and Savior. Oh, that's funny. You think I believe in Jesus? Oh, wow. Hun, I'm a Wiccan. What's a Wiccan? It means I don't believe in your God. I believe in multiple gods. It also means that I believe in nature and believe that I don't have the same belief system as you, and I don't believe in God or Jesus, and that I worship my own thing. But you're gonna burn in hell. Okay, I like fire. I like my showers pretty hot. Lava's okay with me. Aren't you scared? Pff, no, I like fire. And it was kind of in those moments whenever I would talk to people that had different viewpoints on religion, I was just like, wait, I've always been told to basically scare people and tell people that they're going to burn if they don't love God. Is that really what God would teach? Is that really what God would say is the right thing to do? Is that really something that would make God happy or pleased with me? No. It wouldn't at all. It would make him more disappointed and basically go, oh my child, where did I go wrong? I put a book here. That book was supposed to be an instruction manual whenever you turned 18 to give you the kind of aspect of how I did things, and it's supposed to show you my love in a love letter, and you're supposed to interpret that however you interpret that to help you in your journey. However, you've completely missed the whole entire point of this book that I gave you. You don't go and scare people into loving me. I want people to love me of their own free will. But I can help. Not like that. That's not how you help. Like, eventually, I stopped going to church. Surprising, I don't go to church. And that is my choice, and I'm going to keep that choice. For a few reasons. One, as I got older and started becoming a teenager, I started asking more and more questions. Because you have this thing in church called Sunday school, which is essentially you go to a morning class to learn about a lesson from the Bible and interpret the Bible verses and read through the Bible passage with a class, a room full of people, etc., if you don't go to church. And basically it's like a school lesson via church religious studies, and you're studying the Bible. So we'd go to Sunday school every morning before the actual morning sermon, and we would try and learn a bit about the scripture. Indoctrination. And me being a very curious, inquisitive pyro, I started asking questions during class. And I started asking more and more questions. And I started raising my hand a lot more and going, hey, quick question. When we're examining this verse in the Bible, when it says, man shall not lie with man as he does a woman, is that really talking about homosexuality, or is that a different translation? Because I know the Bible translation has changed over the years, and there's different interpretations and different translations throughout Greek and Hebrew and all these other Aramaic and stuff. But is it really this translation, or is there a different translation that we're not looking at, that we're just taking out of context? They didn't like those questions. They also didn't like the questions of, well, how do we know that Satan has actually been a thing? How do we know that he's on Earth? Because it says here in Revelations that Satan finally shows up in Revelations, and he has not been on Earth, he has not been in existence yet, but he is going to be walking the earth in the end times to basically rule out who have sinned and who are following God, etc., in the end times. If I have calculated this correct, this is not the end times yet. So therefore, Satan doesn't exist, right? They didn't like those questions either. They're like, listen, we get it. You have a lot of questions, and questions are good. But when everyone else is trying to learn their lesson, and everyone else is trying to learn about God and learn about the scripture and trying to study, you're asking a lot of questions, and no one else in class is asking questions. And you've got to give other people chances to ask questions. Because then it's going to only just be you asking questions in class, and that's not okay, because then no one learns except for you. But other people do learn if I ask questions, because they get to learn through the questions I'm asking as well, and that also answers those questions in case those come up in their head as well. Listen, this is becoming a problem, and you're just asking way too many questions, and we can't always question everything. Sometimes we just have to lead with an open heart and just be more accepting of what we're hearing, and just have an open heart to everything we're learning, and just listen actively, and just accept things the way they are, and just accept it as the truth from God, and that's the bottom line. Okay, but what if there's more to it? What if there's more that we don't understand that we need to ask questions about? What if things in the Bible we actually need to question and raise questions about and try and study more in depth so that we don't misconstrue, mistranslate, or lead people astray by what we're trying to teach? What if we do things that go completely against what you're teaching here in this class? What if we do things that don't align with the things you have taught us, but align with the things that are being our translation of what we study in the Bible? Well, everyone has their own interpretation, everyone has their own way that they study, and your faith is your own personal experience, but there is a right and there's a wrong. But who are you to determine what is right and who are you to determine what is wrong? Because if God is the one that is judging us and God is the one that determines what is right and wrong, then that would mean that a concept of right and wrong via human interaction would not be fathomable to the human brain. Because if we're a human, we are at fault and we are full of sin. So therefore we do not know what right and wrong is, because only God would know about that, and only God would know if we are sinning or if we are not. Listen, these are not the type of questions you should be asking. And questions lead to doubt, and doubt leads to a very lapse in faith, and that's not a good thing to have in your heart. And I'm just over here going, but I don't have a lapse of faith, and I don't have doubt. I just have questions. So why can't you answer these questions? What is so wrong about me asking questions? What have I done that has made you assume that I am sinning if I have not even mentioned a sin? Those were the moments and questions and stuff that I started asking where people started saying, hey, how about you just, as much as we enjoy having you at church, we want you at church, yes, but we don't want you asking all these questions. So maybe you should consider either another church family or maybe just staying quiet in the church. Because it's not a woman's place to be heard. It's a woman's place to stay quiet and listen to her husband. And I just kind of went like, what if I never marry? What if I don't have a husband? What if I'm not thinking about marriage? Well, that's just, you'll eventually find someone and you'll settle down. You'll have a family. You'll be blessed by God, blah, 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 blah. Insert rhetoric here. And I'm just over here going, I think you're wrong. But I started scheduling more and more work days on Sundays whenever I was working, and basically instead of going to church, started going to work on Sundays because they needed people for the church crowds and people to do the Sunday services for work because we would have church rushes and no one wanted to work the church rushes. And I'm just like, well, it's extra hours, I don't care, and people don't want me in church because I asked too many questions. This works out. Cool. And the more time I spent away from going to church, the more I felt that there was a lot more acceptance with people around me. There was a lot more understanding of the world around me. And I started observing and paying attention to everyone around me and all the different viewpoints, all the different religions, all the different religious views, and started going, well, I can understand where they're coming from. I can understand where I come from. We may not agree on some things, but we don't have to agree. And they're not causing harm with their beliefs. And I don't want to cause harm to them. So therefore, I don't see a problem here. Yet I was taught that there would be a problem here. But there is no problem here. And eventually, I started being more acceptant of the fact that, hey, remember when you said you were just curious about girls and you thought it was a sin to ever want to kiss a girl, and now you want to kiss a girl, and blah, 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 and then you realize you were just shamed for that kind of belief and shamed for being yourself, and you realize there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. You be you, love you, and God loves you even if you're gay, queer, trans, whatever. That's the bottom line. It doesn't matter if you're trans, if you're gay, if you're bi, if you're pan, if you're ace. That still does not factor in how much a deity is going to love you. Like, you're you. You were created that way. Sorry.
There's no take backsies. You were made that way, and you can't change that. There is no amount of conversion therapy that is going to change that. And if you believe in conversion therapy, please leave. But yeah, I wasn't always the way that I am now with like my viewpoint on faith and religion and stuff. But I have grown a lot as a person and basically come to terms with, hey, we're all going to believe differently. And guess what? That's not catching anyone on fire. Have I caught on fire because I don't go to church? Last time I checked, I'm not on fire. Have I caught on fire just because I walked down the street past a church? No, but I have caught on fire in a Catholic church before. But that's not saying much. It was an Easter vigil, if that makes any difference. But fun fact, I have caught on fire in a Catholic church. My hair caught on fire. And I was told just to be quiet during the service when that happened. Hey Mom, my hair's on fire. Shh! We are praying. Okay. But yeah. Which is why I hated being in church. People there were corrupted by generations of BS of what people should and be, and wanted to corrupt the young minds with their BS. Yeah, there's still a lot of corruption that goes on. Honestly, when people talk about like religious stuff, I'm open to talking about it. When people want to talk about like different viewpoints and different faiths, I'm all for it. And I'm not gonna like, if you're Muslim, congratulations, shalom, not shalom, but salam, which salam in Arabic means peace be with you. If you're Jewish, well, trying to remember, shalom Yahweh, so it's like peace from God. If you're pagan, blessed be. If you are atheist or agnostic, hey, cool. Nice to meet you. If you're Christian, bless your heart. But yeah, everyone has different viewpoints, everyone has different religions, different faiths, and that's okay. I'm currently waiting another 3.5 minutes for the pizza to get done. But I wasn't always where I am now with how I believe or what I believe. And I'm all for like being an open book, and if people have questions, people have questions. I'm more than willing to answer them. But yeah, and I'm gonna like regret saying this, but yeah. I was a Southern Baptist. You're already getting the red flags right now. Jokes aside, I was a Southern Baptist youth camp counselor for a church camp. If you are a Christian and a good-hearted, open-minded person, I hope your life will continue to get better for you. Yeah, kind of. For me, I am... How do I put this? I am a Unitarian Universalist. So, Unitarian Universalists have a wide variety and wide range / scale of what they believe in. It's kind of like Omnism, but more so based in Quaker beliefs. So your base core values are rooted in like the biblical kindness, compassion, basically be a decent person, do no harm, love God, love your neighbor, and always be helpful and have a servant-like attitude towards life, that kind of thing, and basically follow the teachings to your own interpretation. Everyone has their own path, their own journey, and you can't determine where someone else's journey goes or where it is. that's their own to determine. That's basically my beliefs, is just be a decent person. If you believe in God, love God, follow him, and just be nice to people. Don't be a dick. And you can be Christ-like in your actions, but you don't have to force your religion on other people. And if people celebrate different religions, celebrate with them. If someone celebrates Yule during the holiday season, because there are 13 different religious holidays celebrated during what people would consider Christmas time. There's not just Christmas. There is Ashura, which is December 5th, which is a Muslim holiday of fasting and being thankful and giving thanks for everything you have been blessed with for the year. Lasts about 3 to 6 days. There's also the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah, which goes from December the 8th to December 16th. There's Kwanzaa, which is December 26th to January 1st. There's Yule, which is January 21st to, oh no, 15% battery. What the hell? No, focus this. But yeah, there's a decent amount of different holidays that go on that are celebrated, and it is okay to have differences in beliefs and opinions and etc., etc., and that is okay. And it's perfectly fine. Oh, that is done. That one is done. The bottom one, not so much. The bottom one's gonna have to kind of go a bit more. Bum bum bum. Let's do 10 extra minutes on the stuffed crust. Slow charging. Okay. But yeah, there is homemade pizza. We're gonna let that cool for a little bit though. So, I'll let that cool. In the meantime, got 10 more minutes on the other pizza. Hopefully the charger keeps the stream going, because my phone's like, hey, you're on 15% battery. Gee, phone, thank you so much. But yeah, my beliefs may not be the same as someone else's. My grandma was a youth pastor, but she was a person that was also a healer that taught me different herbal remedies from plants and nature, and taught me medicinal plants and how to live off the land, how to sew, how to crochet, how to cook, blah 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 blah. She was also a woman that taught me try to have fun in life, try to be happy in life, be happy about what you have, be happy about what you're given, be kind to people, be helpful to people, be a good human, have a servant's heart, and if you feel led to do something in your heart, then that's just God calling you to do something in your heart, and that's what you're meant to do. And I've generally listened to that a lot. However, I have mentioned those beliefs to like a few people who claim to be Christian, and they were not the most supportive of my beliefs, because I would talk about how my grandma was a God-fearing Christian woman, she was a youth pastor, etc., etc., and they're like, oh, that's great, and then I'd tell them about how my grandma raised me and what her beliefs were, and I was told by these people 2 times. One time, the person that was a Christian said, well, that's great and all, but my beliefs are not going to get me cast into a lake of fire and burning for eternity because I follow God. And I'm just like, I have in no way, shape, or form said I don't believe in your God. I have not in any way, shape, or form said I don't accept your God. And I have no way, shape, or form said you were going to hell because you don't believe like I believe. That was very wrong of you to do, and that was not very Christ-like of you. Well, you can't judge me. I'm not judging you, but it seems like you are casting judgment towards me, and only God can judge you. That is exactly what your book says, is no one shall judge except for the Father in heaven. Well, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that my lifestyle is not going to condemn me for eternity. That's literally the same as judging. You do realize that, right? Well, I just say that you should not be hindering your walk with God by all the stuff you believe, because you're believing more stuff of the world than of God. Technically you can't judge where my faith is with God, and you have no room to judge, for you are full of sin as well. And if you are casting stones, does that mean that I get to cast stones at you? Does that mean that you are without sin? Does that mean that you follow God to 100% of all of his teachings? Does that mean that you are doing what God has basically spoken to your heart about? If you're not judging me, then why is it I feel that you are showing something that is not of God's love? Well, I just think that you're trying to hinder my faith by asking these questions, and that you need to reevaluate your relationship with God and repent. That's great, but I'll let Jesus judge me, and I'll let Jesus determine. But you do you. God loves you, and I'm sorry that you feel this way, and that you feel you have to be this way towards someone else who has a similar belief system as you, but does not believe exactly the same as you. I'm sorry that you are so corrupted in your heart that you feel it is okay to tell me that I'm going to hell for my beliefs. But anyways, have a blessed day. Like, I had one person do that, then I had another person that basically said, I could pray your goiter away, we could lay hands on you, and you can pray yourself to be healed. Don't touch me, and don't put your hands on me, and I'm okay. I am more than capable of having a very strong belief system. Thank you, though. Well, I just think you have a bit of weariness in your walk, and that you need to really consider going to church, and maybe have a church family to help support you and guide you in your way. That's great. That's a wonderful thought to have, and I appreciate the sentiment, but I am more than happy where I am. Thank you. Well, I just think you could benefit so much from a church family. I have a church family. Thank you, though. Thank you for your concern. And then I explained my grandma's beliefs to that person, and they're like, well, I think that following your heart leads you to have fault and will cause you to fall in your walk with God, because following your heart can be influenced and corrupted by the world around you and can cause you to sin. We're going that route. We're going that route, really. Doesn't the Bible also say that you are to follow God and trust God with your heart? So technically, wouldn't that be following your heart? That would technically be still following your heart, wouldn't it? Well, yes, but like, you just are going to be corrupted so badly by the world if you always go after what your heart says, because the heart is connected to the body, and the body is full of sin, and we don't understand what God wants us to actually do. I see what you're saying, and I hear you. However, I'm going to agree to disagree. And I hope you have a very blessed day. And I hope that you have a good rest of the day. I will not be participating in this conversation any longer. Yeah, it was very uncomfortable for me. Like, this person was like, we can lay hands on you. Don't touch me. Don't put your hand on me. Don't touch me. I do not consent to you touching me, putting your hand on me, and praying for me. Do not disregard the boundaries I have set in front of you. Thank you. You've reached a number that is unavailable. Please proceed to the next exit. I don't know if I told you this, but I heard a Christian trying to get people of Muslim religion to abandon their lifestyle and join the Christian lifestyle. I never felt so disappointed in a person in a while. Yeah, there are people who try to convert people. It's a very prominent thing in the Christian religion, is to try and convert people and create followers of God by converting the masses, etc. It's an indoctrination thing. It's kind of like the people who think that you can convert people from being gay to being straight, when that's not how that works. You're born one way or the other. I have watched enough heterosexual, straight couple Disney relationships, and yet I am still queer as fuck. Wow. So much for the heterosexual relationships going to influence me, or the media and TV going to influence me to be gay, because I watched a lot of straight couples, and a lot of my family members were straight couples, and yet I was still fascinated by female individuals, and always got really, really flustered around other girls in the locker room in school. So you want to explain that? Because I didn't watch any media to make me that way. I just was that way, naturally. It didn't take having to experiment in a sexual act to know that I did not want to participate in sexual acts as an adult. To know that I didn't want to engage in that behavior as a teenager or ever in my life. It did not take me having to experience that to know when people would talk about it that, not for me. No, I can see where you'd come from, but I'm not particularly interested in that, and that just does not sound good to me. I'd much rather make a pizza. In fact, I'd much rather eat this pizza than participate in the adult activities that people so frequently want to engage in. Like, if I had the choice, alright, you can participate in the adult activities, or, second option, pizza and Minecraft. Hold up. Pizza and Minecraft? Say less. I got the pizza and Minecraft, let's go! But if people are like, okay, participate in the adult activities and be an adult, participate in eating pizza and have Minecraft, and then treat yourself to like a very nice, relaxing bath afterwards. You didn't have to convince me further. Just pizza, Minecraft, relaxing bath, let's go, and fresh laundry, fresh out of the dryer. But still not beating heart. Are you trying to romance me? Is this how you try to romance me? Because, honey, it's working. That's more of a romantic gesture to me, and more convincing for me. Just like, pizza, Minecraft, relaxing bath, and fresh laundry out of the laundry right as soon as the dryer's done. Or adult activity that engages in coitus. Ew. Like, coitus on one hand. No. Maybe if I poke it. Nope. Put that over there. Minecraft, pizza, and relaxing bath. Yeah, that. Here. Sharp, shiny object that will entice you, and pretty shiny rocks, or coitus. I want the pretty shiny rocks, please. Click-clack math rocks. Coitus. Well, hold on, no. Click-clack math... What kind of click-clack math rocks? Shiny click-clack math rocks with glitter. And they're miniature. Miniature shiny little glitter dice for my gremlin brain? Oh. But we are offering you the second option of coitus. Screw the coitus. Shiny math rocks, give now. That is how my brain works in that aspect. You have people that absolutely love the idea of this engagement in the adult activity, and then you have me, which goes, shiny rock. Shiny rock. Best way I can describe it is you have people that are interested in eating donuts. Some people absolutely love donuts. Some people will do anything to have a donut and love a good donut. Then there are some people who sometimes they like a donut, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't really care for the donut, but hey, they'll eat a donut anyways. And then there are some people who really, really don't like donuts and really, really don't want the donut and want to stay far away from the donut. I'm more in between the second and third option. There are some people that they look at the donut and go, donuts look okay, I just don't really want to eat them. Sure, I might try them every once in a while, but I really just don't want the donut. If you don't get the metaphor, try not to worry too much about it. It might go over some people's head, but there are a lot of people in life that really, really like the donut and want the donut at all times and can't live without the donut. However, me, I am perfectly fine living without that donut, and I am perfectly fine not engaging with that donut. Adult activities as one option, or Lego Death Star with full Galactic Empire fleet as second option. Give me the damn Death Star and the fleet, I'd be angry. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's pretty much. Which reminds me, on the topic of Legos, we just got a Lego store at the mall here in town. We got a fucking Lego store now. Legos! Like, it's a whole store. It's not Legoland, but it's a whole Lego-themed store. And Legos and lots of collectibles that are Lego in the store. And I'm just like, we have Legos now? We have Legos! I want to go! I'm 31 years old and I still want to go and play with Legos. It's like, do you want to go and play with Legos, or do you want to research adult activities? Legos, please. No hesitation. Legos, give them to me so I can build things. What are you going to build with Legos? Well, I'm going to find rubber bands, I'm going to find these mechanisms inside the Legos, and I'm going to build fully functioning little atomic weapons. Little pew-pews out of Legos? The nerve. Technically, that is what I did as a teenager. The first time I ever got to play with Legos as like a young adult and teenager, I built guns out of Legos, and I'm just like, hey look, they may not function yet, but they look like guns. Why did you build guns out of Legos? Boredom? You could have been doing so many other things. Yeah, but this was more entertaining. I don't know, it just seemed entertaining to me to just build guns out of Legos. Kind of puts it into perspective if people ever take guns away. What are you doing with all those Legos? Give me some time. I got this. But they took away our guns. Not for long. Comes up with like 3 rifles made out of like 6x6 Legos and stuff, and like rubber bands, and they fully function. How? Creativeness, boredom, ingenuity, being innovative, and making the most out of what you have. Like, you had a pile of Legos. How'd you make it into fully functioning pew-pews? I got bored. And I like a little bit of science and ingenuity and creativeness sometimes. Do they actually fire Legos or what? Oh, no. See, got these little rubber balls, and I just put it in, and it's like a slingshot. What are you going to build with those Legos? I will create my own transformer with them. But what about these activities? Who cares about those? Legos are supreme. Yeah, I need to do some more art of my Sona and do some Lego themed ones and a few other things. I'm trying to think of what all I need to draw. But I need to make more stickers. Not like stickers for like Redbubble, but like Telegram and Discord, because I do that sometimes. Yes, I am touching this, and yes, I am holding this. It's not that hot. Oh, this is slightly hot. It's fine. Did you just touch a pan you took out of the oven like 5 minutes ago? Who wants pizza? What are you doing? Obviously, you have never lived in a Mexican household where you've had to flip your own tortillas on a live open flame. Ooh. Wait, do I have any corn tortillas left? I could demonstrate that. No, I think we don't have any left. Damn. So, growing up, we would take corn tortillas, turn on the burner, put the corn tortilla on the burner, and take our hand and just flip it when it get crispy on one side, and then flip it over again, and then flip it onto a plate with our bare hands. This is fine. Fire's hot. Yes, fire's hot. That's why you don't touch it if it's burning. You want the chancla now or later? Why do you have a chancla? Because you question my cooking, and you question my method. You question my method of cooking in the kitchen. Do you really value your life that much? Because you just questioned me. I have chanclas right over there, and I will grab one and hit you with it. I will throw it like a boomerang, and I will not miss. Concern intensifies. Listen, there are a lot of things that are done in kitchens that'll concern a lot of people. Also, you want to see a thin crust homemade pizza? Because this is going to be pretty thin crust. You can't just hit people with the chancla when they don't agree with you. That sounds like someone else needs hit with the chancla. Boom, boom, boom. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There is homemade thin crust pizza. This is not the stuffed crust one, but you could nice and roll that up, fold it into a taco. But a good pizza, from what I've heard from like New York style thin crust, is a pizza you can roll up and just eat like a burrito. I think you can relatively do that with this. So we got that. And then the stuffed crust pizza. You got that cheese in there. Is this one of the cheese ones? Yeah, it is. Thin crust. There's the back of the crust. Crispy. Also crispy enough to where it's got that nice crispiness. You got the back of this crust, which not as crispy, but it's a thin crust. And it's a good pizza. My stomach will hate me for eating it, but it will be worth it. Also, I'm hungry now. It's a good pizza. However, that is how you make homemade pizza. And, to be fair, making a homemade pizza is a lot healthier than getting a pizza from a fast food place. Because you control the amount of sodium, the amount of fat, and the amount of oil and whatever you're using. Whenever you are making your own dough, your own pizza, you also control the amount of lactose you're using. You also control the amount of gluten you're putting in. So, you learn something every day. Also, the crust does not take eggs, so if you don't have eggs, you can make a pizza crust and make pizza. And yes, there were no eggs involved in this. My stomach's gonna be happy with me because no eggs. But yeah, that's how you make a homemade pizza. Even though we got detoured and distracted by other topics and other things, and my ADHD decided, where you going, buddy? Good talk. It's just no topic with him. Just, where's he headed to? Void of chaos. Oh, God damn it. Turn Eternal. Hey, Turn Eternal. How are you guys? I made homemade pizza. I showed how to make pizza crust, and it does not involve eggs. So if you guys do not eat eggs, which I'm pretty sure you guys mentioned you're pescatarian, but you do cheese, and I think you do eggs. I don't remember. But this pizza crust doesn't take any eggs. It does have cheese. You can do pepperoni if you want, but if you want a vegetarian option, you could also do tofu, mushrooms, bell peppers, olives, and I believe there's something else you could do, but that's what I've got for that. But however, you can top this however you want to top it. It does not necessarily have to be carnivorous. It can be vegan friendly. It can be lactose friendly even if you use plant-based cheeses. So if you have problems with lactose, you can have a lactose-free cheese or a plant-based cheese that you can use for the pizza, and that'll work. And then you don't have to worry about having lactose issues when eating pizza. The pizza sauce is, you can take tomato sauce or tomato paste. You take salt, pepper, it can be black pepper or white pepper, ground black pepper or ground white pepper. Then take garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, mix all that up, make a pizza sauce. And if you make too much pizza sauce and you're only making a small pizza, glass jars, put a lid on it, store it in the fridge, use it for pasta. Because pizza sauce can also double for pasta sauce. And you can even do the pasta, the same toppings that you would use with the pizza, throw in the pasta sauce after the pasta's cooked, throw in the pizza sauce, throw in the toppings that are cooked if you want them cooked, and just do a whole pasta dish with that. That is also vegetarian friendly. So pizza sauce can have more than one use. Make a pasta dish. If you wanted to, you can use the pizza sauce, pasta, some pepperoni and cheese and make a pizza pasta. You learn something new every day. But yeah, good to see you. I need to do that. Also did a cheese stuffed crust one. So, did thin cheese stuffed crust. So there's cheese in the crust. It's got a good crust on it. It's very, very thin, like my hand thickness compared to that. But yeah. And then the thin crust pizza that isn't cheese stuffed, super thin. Thin crust is always good for my stomach because it's less gluten, and that's always a plus. But my phone is currently, I've got a charger on it, but it is at 14%, and I found these really cute pot holders at Dollar Tree. They say work your magic, and they're purple. They're really good. They're purple, and they've got little crystals and stuff on them, and tarot cards, and moons. They're nice. Because, Dollar Tree and Family Dollar both got in their Halloween stuff. And Dollar Tree has so much Halloween stuff that it's just like, go in and look at everything and you're just like, hello darkness, my old friend, it's spooky time again. I need to be careful about laughing while I'm eating. I start laughing and joking when I'm eating, and my jaw starts to tense up and lock up, and I'm just over here going, ah, that hurts. Mystic, come on, behave. I made pizza.
Pizza's good.
Yeah, there's a cheese stuffed crust one, and there's a thin crust. So if you're interested in pizza and you are hungry, I've made pizza.
Thank you.
Yeah. And luckily the charge on my phone hasn't gone down too much. So we're good for now. But this is really good pizza. And it's a lot healthier to make your own pizza versus like going to a fast food place and getting pizza. Also, there's a lot of fast food pizza places that are pro-Israel. So, oh, that's still a thing, by the way. Palestine is still being eradicated. And it needs to stop. And there needs to be a ceasefire. And if you don't know already, Kamala Harris has already said that whenever she becomes president, she will create a ceasefire for Palestine and Israel. That is one of the things she has promised in her campaign. So there's a plus. However, Trump's approach to it was basically he doesn't care. He's going to let Israel just duke it out with them, and it's not our job to get involved. And I'm just like, are you fucking serious? Yeah, Ukraine is still going on. It's still ongoing. There's a lot of places. The Congo is still a thing that's ongoing. If you don't know about what's going on in the Congo, there is a bunch of stuff going on with the Congo right now where people are in danger, in trouble, and basically a war in that area as well. So do what you can to do your part. Unfortunately, you can't boycott everything. Sometimes you have to do what is affordable. Boycott Starbucks. I will not like prevent you from boycotting Starbucks. Starbucks is backing the RNC at the next fucking convention for Republicans. So yeah, just boycott them. Also, Starbucks was already pro-Israel to begin with. I don't drink Starbucks. I don't participate in Starbucks, so yeah. Starbucks is sponsoring the Republican National Convention. That is one of their sponsors this year. If you're not aware, Walmart is also pro-Israel, and Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar, they're all pro-Israel. Unfortunately, there are a lot more companies than not that are pro-Israel. And basically, I still go to Dollar Tree, I still go to Family Dollar, I still go to Dollar General because it's not as big of a corporation as Walmart. It's not as detrimental, and it's what I can afford. Plus, it is the closest thing to my house that I can bike ride to and not have to rely on public transportation or friends. Like, sometimes there are financial things that you have to do, even if it is not great. Yeah, Starbucks sucks. Did you hear about Starbucks?
No.
Starbucks is sponsoring the RNC this year. So, boycott Starbucks?
Yeah.
On top of that, they're pro-Israel.
Yeah.
Like, there are Jewish friends I have that are fully Jewish, and they are full support of Palestine. They think that what's going on with Israel and Palestine sucks. They don't like that Palestinians are being taken from their homes or eradicated. They do not support that. They are very much Jewish, but they are all for God's love, not God's destruction. So, even if you don't support Israel, do not start hating Jewish people. That's not right either. But there are some Jewish people that are not anti-Palestine. There are some Jewish people that are fully support Palestine. Hi.
Hi.
You want pizza?
I'm hungry.
Can you put shorts on?
Yeah.
I'm still streaming. Also, Adia and Will are in stream, along with BK.
Hi.
Alex says hi. BK says hi again! Oh, you painted the other hand.
Yeah.
You could probably show your hands on stream.
Yeah.
Oh, she painted her nails. She did a metallic purple.
Is it in frame?
Kinda, but not really. There it is. Then up a little. Yeah, it's a metallic purple. Smack my camera. No! Yeah, it's pretty. I found a metallic lavender that's called Majestic at Family Dollar the other day for like $1 something. And I'm like, hey, Alex likes purple. Alex likes metallic. Grabs it, pays for it. Here, have this. I also gave you your last fuck in a bottle. It's a little glass bottle and it has a wooden fuck, the word fuck, in wood engraved fuck that is in a bottle. And on the tag it says, my very last fuck to give. And I'm just like, here, have this. What? BK says it's very pretty, and Adian will say it's pretty.
Yeah.
Clever. I mean, considering where I got it from, I'm trying to figure out how to approach this conversation. How can I code this? A friend wanted to take me on an adventure to a new store I had never been to. And that is the extent of that. And I was in a new place, saw new things, a lot of new things, intimidated.
Some big things.
Listen here, those things are intimidating. I'm scared. Those shouldn't exist. Why do they exist?
Because some people like big things.
Well, they need to seek mental therapy.
I mean, that's probably true. But not because they like big things. There just tends to be a lot of overlap there.
But yeah, that's where I got like the little bottle, and then I got myself something which, not necessarily not safe for work, but not necessarily safe for work, just not Twitch appropriate. I don't think. Do you want the thin crust or no? You just want the stuffed crust?
Yeah, just do the stuffed crust.
Okay.
Let's just say it's made of leather and has multiple tips on it.
No, but you don't like it.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just...
Not your preference.
Yeah.
Meh. BK is like figured.
It's a little overdone. Crunchy.
I thought you liked crunchy and crispy.
Yeah, but not a brick.
Here, try this one. I'm sorry that one's a bit crunchy.
Not better.
I'm sorry. That's why I asked, are you sure you want all just cheese stuff? Because I knew that it was a bit crispy and crunchy.
What?
For the pizza. Because you like that one.
What are you talking about? Cheese stuff?
Cheese stuffed crust.
That has nothing to do with how crunchy the whole thing is.
So when they say to grind people's bones and make your bread, they did not mean to make bread like bone. I kind of messed up that part. But you live and you learn.
There's no bend there.
There's a bend towards the top.
Yeah, where the crust meets the pizza.
Okay, it was cooked a little long.
A little bit.
Is it still edible?
Yeah, it's not like charcoal.
Just dip it in ranch. Oh man, that reminds me. At the art event over the weekend, because it was a specific art event at a specific restaurant that was plant themed restaurant. That's about the extent I'm giving on that description. I don't partake in this plant, but I am more than willing to do an art event. One of the things they had going on at this art event was a water slide, and another thing was very loud music, but the other thing going on at this art event was that there was a couple competitions. And one of them was like for $100 gift certificate was a ranch chugging competition. I'll be right back. I need to run real quick. Check. Hurry back to the phone. Hurry back. Hurry back. Okay. Ranch chugging. I like ranch, but would not chug it. Sounds gross. I like certain sauces, but not enough to chug and drink. So, basically, how can I describe this? How can I describe this? Imagine a cup, much like this size. Yeah, everything's fine. I just I have a habit of not answering nature's call whenever nature's call needs to happen. So yeah, 9%. I'm gonna try and finish up by saying that basically when I'm conversating, I feel like I need to wait till everything is done conversating to do that. Basically, there was a whole cup this size that everyone had like up to here of ranch, and there were like 7 people that were participating in that, where they had to just try to chug that whole cup full of ranch for like $100 gift certificate to the restaurant thing. And I'm just over here like, I like ranch. However, as much as I could be certifiably insane, I'm not that level of whatever that is. Like, kudos if you can do that and drink a whole thing of ranch, but like, even I have my limits, and I'm concerned reaching above optimal. There was like this really skinny girl that had like a plaid skirt and a tie and long black hair and a blue beanie with eyes on it, and there was like another person that had beard, and there was like other people, and there were like a couple other skinny people that were participating in this, and they just drank it, and like the one with the plaid skirt ended up with like a Hulk Hogan mustache of ranch because she drank it so fast. And I'm just like, who won? I don't remember who won. I don't remember. I think it was a guy. I'm gonna try to run to my computer real quick so that we can try and raid someone. If you all are wanting to raid, or if you want me to just kind of take a break after this and come back to stream in like an hour or 2. But if I do come back to streaming, it'll be in my room. It'll be on the computer with a lot better lighting, and it'll probably either be art or Minecraft, unless people are up for Fortnite, but that's kind of depending. But I tried to do what I could. I'm sorry, this was like a almost 3-hour stream. I charged this phone fully to 100% before the stream, and it is currently at like 9%. But yeah, I'm gonna try to eat what I can before I go and sneeze. I feel a sneeze coming on, but I don't know if I'm gonna sneeze. I hate that feeling. Like, you feel like you're gonna sneeze and it's right there in the back of your nose, and then you don't sneeze and you're just like, I hate that. But for right now, if you haven't done so today, remember to take your meds, drink water, hydrate. Energy drinks and coffee do not count as water. Don't be a brat about this. Water. Eat food if you haven't eaten, because your body is surviving, and sometimes you need to remember to eat food. And like, yeah. Also, I don't know. You can do Kool-Aid, but not the bad kind of Kool-Aid, and not the spicy adult Kool-Aid. But regular Kool-Aid is probably fine. Lemonade is probably fine. Propel and Gatorade are probably fine. I don't remember if any of those are on the list of boycott, but I'm gonna shake my head at this. Don't brat. But I'm not sure if we're going to be doing the pumpkin patch thing for Alex's birthday next weekend. By the way, September 7th, Saturday, September 7th is Alex's birthday, so don't forget to wish them a happy birthday on their birthday. They may not be home, I don't know, but we may not be doing the pumpkin patch in Corn Maze that day or the zombie paintball that day. We may not be doing that because one of the people that would be driving that wanted to be a part of it is doing a very big convention event this weekend, so they may not have the spoons to do that next weekend. So we may have to figure out something else for Alex's birthday. I do know that she wants me to make basically a pumpkin cookie cake. So hear me out. Chocolate chip cookie cake crust, and then pumpkin cheesecake on top of the cookie cake. That is the idea she wants me to create. I'm okay with creating this, however, I am kind of concerned that you would mix chocolate with pumpkin. I don't understand why, but it's her birthday, so I want to make her happy, and as weird as it may seem to me, if it's something she likes, c'est la vie. Live a little. YOLO. I don't know. But I will definitely be working on that and potentially streaming that when I'm making it. Maybe. I will think about it. What else is there? I also am planning on surprising her with one of the paintings I've done. I don't know if she can hear me. I'm hoping she can't hear me right now, or that she's not lurking in stream. If she's not lurking, I haven't been able to sell my fox painting yet. The one where the fox is licking a window kind of thing with like the painted glass. Haven't been able to sell that yet. So it was one of the paintings she really, really likes, and I'm thinking of gifting it to her for her birthday. But she doesn't know that. And I'm trying to get better at doing surprises. I'm trying to get better at not ruining surprises. Our roommate makes a mean pumpkin chocolate chip cheesecake, but I am not sure. I'm trying to work on being better at surprises, because I'm the kind of person that when I'm gifting something to someone, I'm just like, hey, I got you a thing! Sure, take it! No, I'm one of those people that just like, I got this person a gift. Here, take your gift. It's not my thing yet. You gotta wait like a whole month. But I got it now, and I gave it to you because I thought of you. You gotta wait, or it's not a surprise. So anyway, I got you this. God damn it. That's the kind of person I am when it comes to like giving people gifts. I'm like, oh, I got you a thing. I got you a thing. You don't ruin the surprise. You wait. But I got this specific insert item here. The thing that you were wanting for a while. Weren't you going to try to surprise me? Yeah, about that. I'm bad at surprises. Did I forget to mention that I'm bad at surprises? Because I'm bad at surprises. The element of supplies. Supplies? The element of some fries? The element of supplies? The element of surcharges? No. Anyways. Supplies, motherfucker. Some fries, motherfucker. Sorry. Just goes back to the whole Samuel L. Jackson thing. Anyways, for right now, let's go ahead and end stream and possibly be back in a couple hours if people are still awake. It is now 11:20 at night where I am, but yeah. I will see you all next time. Please take care of yourself. The element of sunrise. Surmise? Trying to remember. If you haven't already, feel free to follow for more content in the future. You're welcome to subscribe, not obligated to. Up to you. I'm not here to convince you to do anything other than use the emotes that I've created for you to use. That is all. Anyways, I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone. Enjoy making pizza on your own sometime. Try what you learned here today. Other than the things we explained about religion. Maybe don't participate. That's just joking. Anyways, see you next time. Bye.